Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're not just going to talk about cybersecurity, we are going to build a fortress, a digital one, for your entire online life. So, let's dive right in.
So, I want you to try a little thought experiment with me. What if you stopped thinking about your online life as just, a bunch of random accounts and files? What if you started seeing it for what it really is? A fortress, a stronghold that contains your most valuable stuff, and it needs to be protected.
Because, let's be real, the digital world is a battlefield. Your fortress is under siege, constantly. The attacks never stop. But here's the good news. The defenses are more powerful than you might think. And today, we're going to walk through exactly how to build those defenses, one layer at a time.
All right, first up, the digital fortress under siege. Look, before we can even think about building walls, we've got to understand the battlefield we're on.
And that means we need to meet the attackers. I mean, it's classic strategy, right? You've got to know your enemy to beat them. Who are they, and what are their favorite ways of trying to smash down your gates?
Okay, first up is the brute force attack. This one is, well, it's not subtle at all. It's basically a digital battering ram. An attacker just points some software at your login page and lets it rip, trying millions, literally millions of password combinations until, pop, the lock breaks.
Then you've got spoofing. Now this one is all about trickery. It's like a digital imposter. They'll whip up a fake email or a website that looks exactly like your bank or a store you use. The whole game is to fool you, to get you to let your guard down for just a second and hand over the keys to the kingdom. Your password or credit card number.
This next one is kind of creepy. It's called a man-in-the-middle attack. The best way to think about it is like this. Imagine someone is intercepting your mail. They open it, read it, maybe even change a few words, then seal it back up and send it on its way. You have no idea. That's what's happening here. An attacker secretly wedges themselves right in the middle of your conversation, listening in.
So, not every attack is about stealing your stuff. Sometimes it's just about causing chaos. That's a denial of service, or DOS attack. The goal here is simple: shut you down. They just flood your website or your network with so much junk traffic that it's like a massive traffic jam. The whole system gets overwhelmed, crashes, and boom, nobody, not even you, can get in.
Okay, that's the scary stuff. So, how do we actually fight back? Well, it's time to build our defenses. Let's start with the first lines: the walls, the moats, the gatekeepers.
Your most basic, absolutely essential first line of defense is the firewall. This is literally the main gate and the guards of your fortress. It's a security device, could be hardware, could be software, that stands between your safe internal network and the wild, chaotic internet. It checks the ID of everything coming in and everything going out, all based on a set of rules you define.
But here's a really important point. Not all firewalls do the same job. You've got network firewalls. That's the big wall around your entire castle, protecting everything inside. Then you have application firewalls. Think of this as a special guard posted right at the door to the treasury, protecting just one specific, super important thing, like your email. And honestly, you absolutely need both.
Okay, so the walls are up, the guards are at the gate, but what happens if an attacker is clever enough to get past them? Well, that's when you need to protect the actual messages inside. And that's exactly what data encryption does. It's like writing all your secrets in a language that no one can read. It scrambles your data into a code, and it's completely useless unless you have the one special key to unlock it.
And how you do that, scrambling is so important. The old way was with a single, private key. You and I would share the same key to lock and unlock messages. The problem? If someone steals that key, the whole system is broken. But today, we use something way smarter called public key encryption. Now this is cool. It uses two keys. There's a public key that anyone can use to lock a message and send it to you. But, and this is the magic part, only your private key, which you never ever share, can unlock it. It's a total game changer.
Right, so you can't just build your fortress and then walk away, thinking the job is done. A strong defense is a living thing. You have to constantly test it, poke it, and try to break it yourself. Why? Because you need to find the cracks in your walls before the bad guys do.
And this happens in two main steps. First, you've got vulnerability testing. This is like doing a routine inspection of your fortress walls, looking for obvious cracks. It's usually automated, scanning for stuff like outdated software. But then there's penetration testing. This is where it gets serious. You actually hire a team of good guys, ethical hackers, to try and break in. They actively exploit the weaknesses they find to see if they can get inside.
It's the ultimate stress test for your defenses.
But here's the thing, and it's a hard truth to swallow. Even the strongest fortress with the best walls and the smartest guards can be breached. It happens. And that's why this last part is maybe the most important piece of the whole puzzle. You absolutely have to have an escape plan, a plan for what to do when everything goes wrong.
And this really gets to the core of it, doesn't it? Data is more valuable than hardware. I mean, think about it. You can always buy a new laptop, a new server. That's just money. But your data, your customer lists, your photos, your research, once that's gone, it is gone forever. You can't replace it.
So this is where your escape plan gets real. We're talking about a rock-solid backup strategy. And that doesn't just mean occasionally copying some files. It means a regular, automated routine. And, this is so critical, those backups have to be stored off-site. Some are completely different. You know why, right? So that a fire or a flood or whatever disaster hits your main fortress doesn't also wipe out your only copy of the blueprints to rebuild it.
And it's really important to understand that this plan has two distinct parts. On one hand, you have disaster recovery. That's the super technical stuff. How do we get the computers and the servers back online? But on the other hand, you have business continuity. That's the bigger operational question. How does the business itself keep running while the tech is down? One plan saves the hardware, the other one saves the entire business.
So when you're planning this, you've got choices, and it all comes down to a classic trade-off: speed versus cost. At the top end, you have a hot site. It's basically a perfect mirror of your entire system, ready to take over in seconds. It's amazing, but it costs a fortune. On the other end of the spectrum, you have a cold site, which is pretty much just an empty building with power. It's cheap, but it could take you weeks to get back up and running. So the choice really boils down to one question: how much money do you lose for every single minute you're offline?
And there you have it. We've gone from the attackers at the gates to the ultimate escape plan. We've built our digital fortress. But the final thought I want to leave you with is this: are you truly ready? Is your fortress built? Are the drills run? Is your escape plan ready to go at a moment's notice? Because in this world, it is never a question of if you'll be tested. It's only a question of when.